Hey, this is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about something that's very, not usually utilized, that is a option for relief if you're struggling with paying your regular debts, like your credit card debts, your automobile, even your mortgage. Obviously, with not payday loans, but obviously with student loans, you've heard of this, with deferring the payments. Now, the thing about it is that a lot of people don't understand how you can get to the right department to be able to do a payment deferment. Some of you may know about it, but a lot of people still have issues with making their payments, and they're just like, hey, if I could have just got a break rather than just having a late payment, things could have been worked out. And this was a strategy that I used in the 90s that really did, like, it kind of kick-started my way of being able to get out of debt, because I was able to defer multiple car payments. At that time, I'm still not proud of myself for doing this, but I had 6 vehicles back in 1994. And so I got deferments on the vehicles, and I ended up actually giving all of them back except for 2, and doing settlements on those, but that's a whole nother story. But getting deferments on those, I got deferments on the credit cards that I had back at that time, and deferments on some other stuff that I had. And what it did, I was able to pool together a certain amount of money, and I started utilizing that money, number one, to put some money aside for an emergency fund, because you don't want to be, stranded. Your car breaks down and you don't even have the money to get it fixed, or something comes up for work, you get sick, and if you don't get sick pay, you need to get groceries or just anything, medicine, anything. You want to have that emergency fund set up. So I was able to put aside a little bit of money. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was money for an emergency fund. And then we started putting together a strategy to pay down our debt. I remember that it was like a family meeting, me and my wife. I can remember that like it was yesterday. We just sat down and piece of paper, and we had just agreed. We said, we're going. Number one, we had the goal. The goal was to get out of debt. You don't have to totally get out of debt, but that was our goal, was to just get out of debt, because we had started a business, and then when we got success in that business, we ended up spending more, just spending the money on a whole bunch of stuff that we really didn't need. So we were making a lot more money, but we were spending a lot more money. And I'm pretty sure you've probably found yourself in that same situation. So we did the payment deferments. And at first, when we started calling the companies, a few of them were trying to pretend like they didn't have it, where they would defer payments. And we were like, we know you do. And then we had learned that some of the times you have to ask for the hardship department. Every corporation that makes loans, every business that makes loans, that's like a credit card company, personal loan, bank, automobile lender, all of them are required by law to have a hardship department, and they have to hear what's your hardship, and then they can either do a deferment, offer offer a reduced payment. It's different. It varies with each company. But what I tell people to do is to just shoot to get a 3 to 6 month deferment. With your home, you're actually able to get a deferment of up to a forbearance of up to 1 year. But you got to be very careful when you're doing this stuff. Number one, something that I had learned that did not happen to me back at that time in the 90s, but I saw it happen in 2008, was when people went and got the deferments. The companies are not supposed to report on your credit report anything negative. And they were doing it. They would outright tell people on the phone, we're not going to report anything negative. It's just going to be no reporting for that period of time. But they were putting on their late payments and stuff. So I had put together a document, and you can get that if you get my deferment program, or you could just do this yourself, is where you send them a letter certified to that specific department, and you tell them that you want acknowledgement that they're not going to put anything negative on your credit reports. This is supposed to be a deferment. Now, one of the things that you do need to understand with deferments is that it does not stop the interest. So you could end up owing more than what you owed with your regular payment schedule, and it could reset your actual payoff date with your loan if you take a deferment, because number one, you're not making those payments, and then number two, they're going to still say, hey, we got to get our interest. Now, there's certain situations, I know with what happened with COVID, I believe that a lot of the mortgage company providers did not even add up the interest, but a lot of them did. So you have to just kind of see what their rules are going to be when it's moving forward with deferments or forbearance with your mortgage. But if you can imagine, if you have one or two car payments, you have 3 or 4 credit card payments, if you are paying your student loans, and then if you do have a mortgage, this won't work for a rental. The landlord isn't going to let you defer any payments. But you could look at your options in your city for rent assistance programs where they can help you pay some of your rent. Those programs do exist. You just have to seek them out, and you have to fill out the paperwork to get it done. So you're pooling that money together, and then you need to put together a plan. Don't be like most people. Most people, they get that money and then they just go out and spend it on stuff that they want to spend it on. So that's don't do that. That's not what a deferment is for. A deferment is where you're having like your own financial reset, so to speak, where you're resetting and being able to take care of some household stuff and not worry about losing your car, not worrying about going into default with your credit cards and other payments that you're making. But it allows you to reset and take care of some bills, put a little bit up for savings for that emergency fund, and then allow you to move forward. Now, next thing that I would advise you to do is that once you do that, during that period of time, if you're by yourself, single, or if you are married, you need to put together a plan of action to start paying down your debt. You need to look at what you're earning, take your take-home pay per week, every 2 weeks, month, however you get paid. You need to, make some hard decisions. Look at that. Look at what you got going out, and then you need to make some hard decisions. I know it's not easy. This is something that I had to do. This is something that I've helped a lot of people do, but you have to do this because you're not it's just like you're going to just be on that roller coaster for the rest of your life. You're going to be living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. And at some point, when you turn, get around my age where you're over 50, 60, 70, are you going to be wanting to work as hard as you're working right now? You're not going to want to be working that way. So this is like, in a way, getting you set, getting you ready to where you can start saying, okay, if I take action right now, no matter what age you are right now, if I take action right now to start getting my finances under control, and this is one strategy that I could use to start getting the ball rolling, I can, end up living a comfortable retirement. And there are ways to do it. And so if you need help with something like that, I do have a program. It's below here. It's called a COVID-19 payment relief program, even though it would work for anything. It's just that there were some special programs that some are still going on now. Some may have ended during the COVID emergency. You should get that program. I have a special where you only pay $5. You get full access to the program, and then after you get your deferments. So I'm letting you get the program now, and then you can pay the rest of it, and it's only $34. You can pay the rest of it after your deferment. So in 30 days, you can pay the rest of it. In 30 days, you're going to be able to save where you're not going to have to have payments on your credit cards, all that stuff. I show you exactly how to do it. I made a video. It's not a video of like theory on doing it. I actually had to do this for myself and my family in the 90s. I've helped my clients, do it now. And I just decided to make a program available that anyone that finds themselves strapped financially can just, watch that video. I give you the documents that you need to use. I tell you exactly what to say, who to ask for, everything. So I mean, this is something that's like a lifesaver for people, because if you could take any pressure off of someone that is struggling financially, where you could just say, hey, I'm not going to lose everything, because we're always worried about losing everything. That's how I was. I was like afraid of just losing everything. But you have to make decisions. And part of making decisions is to say, hey, what are some ways that we can have some money? Because if we have money to do things, we're going to be able to kind of maneuver our way through it. And payment deferments is a viable option to be able to get that started. And if you have a lot of debt that you can do deferments on, like I did at that time, I was able to start paying down other debts, because I had so much debt that I had accumulated in payments. You wouldn't believe the payments that I had going out, and was able to get those deferments, and boom, paid down some of those smaller credit cards. And at that time, I closed them out, just because I just didn't want to be tempted to use them. But you can make your own decisions on that. But if you learn your lessons, you know that you might have to close some, even if your credit score goes down. That is fine, because the main goal is to get your feet back under you so you can move forward. All right, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. And if you one of my employees is just messing with me right now, and then if you need the payment deferment program, link is also below here. And if you have debt collectors coming after you, use my 3-pack of letters to stop debt collectors. I do ask for a donation. It's worth it, because it can literally stop you. If I had these letters back then, there were some debts that I would have never even had to pay. So thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video and share it. Thank you.